The last book left off with a bouquet toss. Marianne catches it, and Dawn wastes no time in complaining that it's her mother, so it should be her bouquet. Besides, Marianne isn't coordinated, so she shouldn't have caught it to begin with. Wow, 8th grade savagery. Sounds like Dawn is the wicked stepsister.
Argo Fump Book Review, Argo Fump Book Review.
Marianne and Dawn are stepsisters now, and Dawn is excited to share a room with her. Marianne, not so much. She cries a lot during the move, she gets crabby about the things they had to sell, and she mopes around instead of unpacking. Plus her stupid cat runs around the house for 6 hours mowing. I can't tell you how amused I am that somebody else hates Marianne's cat. They drop Jeff off at the airport. Yeah, he's not really in this book, the cover is a lie. Jeff talks about how the new family is struggling and they're going to have trouble. At the next Babysitters Club meeting, Mallory looks awful. Awful for her, that is. I guess that means she normally looks awful, which sounds kind of mean to me, but the book is trying to say that Mallory is sick. Sick of the other girls insulting her in their narration, perhaps? Dawn and Marianne have a minor showdown when they're both available for the same job. Dawn wants it so she can buy Marianne a Now We're Sisters present, even though Dawn bought her that gift in the previous book. Continuity! Marianne demands that she gets the babysitting job because it's by her old house and I, Marianne, feel bad for me. The girls stare each other down and Marianne calls Dawn fat. Christy is forced to step in before there is bloodshed. There are 3 chapters of Mallory and her family being sick. Claire and Margot were adorable, while Mallory complained a lot about being sick and bored. Claudia writes that Mallory was a pain in the club notebook where Mallory is sure to read it. I guess she's trying to hurt Mallory's feelings here. I think we should have a Babysitters Club book where somebody gets mad over the things that are written in the club notebook, but no, this book inspired a Mallory is sick for a month book instead. Tensions rise at the Spear House, and admittedly, some of the problems are easily avoidable. For instance, Richard cooks bacon for breakfast every morning, but none of it gets eaten because Dawn and Sharon are vegetarians. Easy solution! Tell Richard to stop being stupid. And Richard is mad because Sharon drops her dirty laundry everywhere. Again, easy solution! Tell Sharon nobody wants to see her used underwear. That's gross. Other problems, though? Dawn wants to clean the kitchen once a day. Richard wants to clean it 3 times a day. That's something they need to work out with themselves, instead of saying nothing about it and letting the problem fester to the point where they want to strangle each other. Richard announces a spring cleaning day. Sharon goes around the house all willy-nilly, knocking the garbage onto the floor instead of actually cleaning it up. Dawn tries to defend her mother by saying Sharon doesn't know what vacuums are, but Marianne doesn't buy it. So Dawn gets revenge by de-alphabetizing Richard's sock drawer. Oh yeah, Richard alphabetizes his socks by color. Sadly, the book doesn't explain where he places his rainbow socks, because I am sure a fun-loving guy like Richard has rainbow socks. There's a school dance. Marianne brags about how she's going to the dance with her wonderful boyfriend. And before she leaves, she says,
"Just try to enjoy the evening, Dawn. Don't think of yourself as someone who can't get a date, okay? It isn't healthy."
Ouch! Super harsh, Marianne. Dawn and Marianne do homework at the same time, and they argue over music. Marianne wants silence while she studies, while Dawn wants to listen to the radio. The parents get involved, and the fight escalates to the point where Marianne moves out of the room for the night. She refuses to talk to Dawn for days on end after that. What a wicked stepsister! Dawn talks to Christy about the situation, and Christy says the best way to handle a new stepfamily is to adopt a Vietnamese baby without consulting your family members first. No, wait, sorry, that was book 24. Christy explains sometimes stepfamilies need space. Dawn decides the best solution is if she and Marianne get separate rooms. The next chapter is kind of weird. Instead of talking to Marianne about the situation, Dawn decides to force Marianne out of the room by scaring the living daylights out of her. Dawn uses the hidden passageway to full effect, Marianne screams a lot, and she refuses to sleep in that room ever again. So, lying and deceit solved Dawn's problem. The Babysitters Club! The best friends you'll ever have! Things get better after that as the family decides to address problems instead of tiptoeing around each other's issues. For example, they decide to fix the food problem by having vegetarian and meat dishes at meals. That's a super obvious solution they should have thought of a month ago, but I'm glad to see they've worked things out. At least until book 64, when they all hate each other again. The end. Post-book follow-up. I liked how Super Special 3 showed the Dawn-Marianne fight from both girls' perspectives. It was more balanced. In this book, we only hear Dawn's side of the story, so Marianne comes across as an awful jerk. We're not given any explanation for why she's suddenly acting awful, instead of being shy like normal and letting everybody else walk all over her. So the fights were one-sided, but on the other hand, I liked how the Marianne-Dawn relationship was more nuanced in other places. Sometimes they fight, and sometimes they're good friends who have fun conversations. That was a good, realistic portrayal of siblings. Other people on the internet really hated the ending part, where Dawn scares Marianne out of the room instead of talking to her like a normal person would. That was really mean of Dawn. I agree, it doesn't fit Dawn's character as the most mature babysitter to go around pretending to be a ghost. And yeah, it makes Dawn seem like a total hypocrite in the final chapter when she tells the family members they have to start being honest with each other. I figured the ghost thing was more of a joke chapter rather than something readers should take seriously, but I can understand these complaints that the ending really undermined the book's message, because it did. Overall, I enjoyed this book. It's interesting to see Dawn and Marianne adjust to their new life. The narration worked well, the club meeting chapters had more variety than normal, and even the irrelevant babysitting chapters were entertaining. I don't see much room for improvement, unless we combine this with the previous book, then I think it would be a crazy great super book. That should have been Super Special number 3, that could have been a great super special. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I like this book. I'm giving Babysitter's Club number 31, Dawn's Wicked Stepsister, a 9 out of 10.